to former President Donald Trump's unprecedented journey from the White House to the courthouse. He is expected to turn himself in on Tuesday following his historic criminal indictment. Trump's most fervent allies on Capitol Hill are showing their support by calling the indictment a political witch hunt. On Friday, the Manhattan District Attorney warned House Republicans against attempting what he called unlawful political interference in the case. In New York, security is tight around the Manhattan courthouse, where Trump's attorney says the former commander-in-chief will surrender. Robert Costa is there. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Jeff. Lower Manhattan remains on high alert this morning as NYPD officers prepare for possible protests next week when former President Trump arrives right here for his arraignment on Tuesday. And while the indictment remains under seal on Friday, we did begin to learn more about the scope of the charges.
Former President Donald Trump is slated to appear before a Manhattan criminal court Tuesday afternoon, where he's facing what could be a sweeping indictment. One source says the indictment could contain over 30 counts related to the alleged falsification of business records to cover up hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election.
By now, we all know the basic contours of the scheme, the decision to pay Stormy Daniels hush money and mischaracterize it as legal fees to Michael Cohen.
Trump's lawyer says the former president stands ready to fight the charges, ones that he believes are politically motivated.
This is a case that would not have been brought against another individual in this country if his name wasn't Donald Trump. Pursued by a prosecutor who has obviously very diverse political views from the president.
That sentiment has been echoed by many Republicans.
I think the unprecedented indictment of a former president of the United States for a campaign finance issue is an outrage.
This is going to destroy America. We're going to fight back at the ballot box. We're not going to give in.
Including Trump himself on Truth Social. On Friday, counsel for Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg sent a letter to House Republicans denouncing Trump's attacks on Bragg's office and urging Congress to let the criminal justice process proceed without unlawful political interference. Sources say Bragg has compiled reams of documents detailing numerous alleged financial schemes in Trump's orbit, including others beyond the hush money payments made to Stormy Daniels by his former fixer, Michael Cohen.
Bob, what can we expect to see on Tuesday when the former president turns himself in?
Jeff, it will be like almost anyone else coming in for processing. He will enter the building behind me. He will get fingerprinted. He will get a mugshot, and then he will have an open arraignment in court. The one thing he will not have are handcuffs on his wrists because Secret Service will be alongside him at every turn.
And Bob, what more can you tell us about the security precautions that are being taken here?
Right now, even though it's early on Saturday morning, NYPD officers are out in full force. When you walk around these blocks, they are in full uniform. That's by order. NYPD officials want to make sure that people coming to this area of Manhattan are aware that they have a presence. Metal barricades are up everywhere, and they are getting ready for protests. Some of the Republicans in Congress have already pledged to come down here and be here to rally around Trump.
All right, Bob, before you go quickly, so we know the president's already running. He's given campaign speeches for 2024. How does all this change the 2024 presidential race?
In the short term, Jeff, you see that a lot of Republicans are rallying around Trump. They're saying he's still going to be our pick for the nomination in 2024. But behind the scenes, it's fascinating when I talk to donors and even some activists and party officials. They believe Trump eventually, because of this investigations in Washington, could become increasingly politically vulnerable by the summer or the fall. So it's a wait-and-see moment for many Republican rivals.
Robert Costa at the Manhattan Criminal Court this morning. Bob, thank you.